Hello there, a great evening to you indeed, and many thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a great and productive day as the year gets close to an end. Martina, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing today?
Very, very great.
Are you ready for 2024?
Yes, very ready.
Okay, what do we have tonight?
Yes, we'll always kick it off with the headlines. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente emphasized that Rwanda's sustainable economic growth and improved standards of living is a result of inclusive planning and accountable governance.
As a result of anti-corruption campaign, the amount of money paid in bribes this year has decreased to more than 22 million from more than 38 million in 2022 and more than 14 million in bribes in 2021.
Good evening to you again, and thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News tonight as we begin our edition. Martina?
Yes, let us inform you that on Thursday at Urugwiro village, President Paul Kagame met with Anders Holch Paulsen, owner and CEO of bestseller and Fleming Besenbacher, Unleash chairman. Unleash, a global innovation platform, has convened 1,000 youth from around the world in Kigali for a week-long innovation lab aimed to address global challenges and contribute to sustainable solutions for the UN SDGs. The innovation lab will culminate in the Solutions Festival and Hunger Pitch Fest 2023, Rwanda's largest in-person technology event scheduled for tomorrow, where top finalists will pitch their prototypes.
And moving ahead to other matters, Rwanda's Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente emphasized that Rwanda's sustainable economic growth and improved standards of living is a result of inclusive planning and accountable governance. He reiterated this on Thursday during the 5th edition of Kusi Ideas Festival, which discussed the development of African continent. The conference took place this Thursday again in Gaborone, capital of Botswana. We do have the details with Olive Nete.
In this conference organized by the Nation Media Group of Kenya, officials of some of the African countries who participated reiterated on the progress made in various sectors and also challenges still faced, hindering the development of the continent. The Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente represented His Excellency President Paul Kagame at the conference. He expressed that Rwanda was able to reach the current level of economic growth as a result of inclusive planning and accountability.
Normally, in a different conversation like this one, we always talk about inclusive growth, but we forget, I think, to talk about inclusive planning, because before we achieve our results, we need already to plan properly and make sure that everyone is involved in the country. And that was the vision of our president, to involve all citizens in our national planning. And now have seen the results from that. The second thing we have been talking about in Africa in a different conversation like this one is potential, but as you know, some people say that we don't need potential. We need to talk about opportunities and how we can let our youth, our young people, to benefit from those opportunities we have in Africa. And this is what we have done in Rwanda.
The Prime Minister Dr. Ngirente noted that Rwanda has focused on education to empower its predominantly youthful population for national development. Additionally, efforts in sectors like agriculture and health have significantly raised life expectancy from 49 to 79 years over the past 15 years. In pursuit of realizing the Africa we want, outlined in Agenda 2063, Rwanda's Prime Minister emphasized the need to translate this plan from paper to action. He emphasized the importance of providing quality education to the youth as a crucial step in achieving this goal. The President of Botswana, Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi, pointed out that to attain the agenda of the Africa we want is possible, but also noted that it depends on the way the leaders and the people of this continent decide to proceed, since they have all the necessities. He mentioned that challenges such as climate change and other various obstacles to development should be addressed based on the resources that the continent has. According to President Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, sanctions that have been imposed on his country for years have prevented them from finding solutions to overcome the obstacles to development.
It is because we've looked internally and they say Under these circumstances where the global north would want to strangle us, how do we survive? And we are surviving. And we're actually very thankful to those who have put sanctions on us, because they've made us think outside the box and survive with sanctions. Just think about if they remove sanctions, we may be wondering how to live without sanctions.
All of these officials emphasized on the fact that Africa should speed up the implementation of the programs contained in the Agenda 2063, entitled The Africa We Want, and that enhancement of good governance that builds people with the skills to participate in this goal is key. The theme revolves around the implementation of the Agenda 2063. Achieving this requires cooperation between African countries and other developing countries. Olive Nete, RTV News.
The Central Bank of Rwanda noted that the COVID-19 pandemic was a factor for the increase in the volume of cashless payments from 4% to 145%, which enabled the National Bank to save 1.5 billion Rwandan francs every year that was used to print notes and make coins. We have more on this report.
It has turned into normalcy in the city of Kigali for buyers and sellers to use cashless means while transacting goods and services. It is no longer necessary to walk around with liquid money. Today, you can easily withdraw the money from your bank account to your mobile wallet and purchase whatever you want. These days, it's rare to see a person with liquid money. The Central Bank of Rwanda statistics indicate that in 2013, electronic money transfer was at a rate of 4.6% of the country's gross domestic product and reached at an average rate of 145% in the 9 months of 2023. Central Bank Deputy Governor Soraya Hakuziyaremye confirms that the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on these numbers.
It pushed people to use electronic transaction, even those who did not use them before. But this also indicates the country's plan to protect citizens amid crisis caused by the pandemic. Imagine what would have happened if the pandemic hit without the means to transact electronically. The technology has helped us in difficult times, like during COVID-19.
Printing notes and making coins used to cost $4.8 million every year. With the increase in digital payments, $1.3 million is the amount saved by the country every year. The number of mobile transaction users reached 6.6 million from 2.8 million before the COVID-19 pandemic. Telecom service providers say this means more in a digital-driven economy. It means we brought solutions that citizens needed. It is why they responded quickly and in large numbers. Before, people had to withdraw their money before transacting, but today, all of it can be done electronically. Despite satisfaction with electronic payments, citizens call for improvements. We do not give them the code, because when, for instance, a person was supposed to pay 500 Rwandan francs, I receive only 485. The Central Bank of Rwanda pledged to address the matters.
Mobile transactions cannot be free because services providers have to make profits too. The cost of mobile transactions have reduced by 40%.
Currently, arrangements are underway to facilitate electronic transfer of money to other countries, including those in the region, to make it easier for regional citizens, mostly those doing cross-border trade. As a result of anti-corruption campaign, the amount of money paid in bribes this year has decreased to more than 22 million Rwandan francs from more than 38 million in 2022 and more than 14 million in 2021. We do have the details.
At the top of the list, Rwand's corruption rate went from 2.9% in 2021 to 6% in 2022, and this year it has reached 13.8%. The private sector is ahead of other sectors at the rate of 15.6%, as the findings show, and schools in the procurement of student transport to be done by the heads of the institutions. There are people who believe that the slow delivery of services is a loophole for corruption. was trying to get a tender at a school's canteen and gave it to one of the leaders of that school. Those are some of the consequences of corruption that we faced. The value of money paid in bribes in general decreased, as this year it was 14,126,000 from 38,352,563 and 22,814,500, which was paid in bribes this year. The executive director of this organization, Mupiganya Apollinaire, says that efforts put into fighting it are bearing fruit.
nk'urugero nka rura yavuzweho cyangwa se no mu myubakire by'ibigo by'amashuri.
Like the example that Rula gave, there are so many corruption cases that we hear about in schools. When we receive the complaints, we immediately take it to the concerned authorities for it to be handled. The ombudsperson, Nirere Madeleine, says that these institutions mentioned in the report should look at the gaps they have and prevent them. When such reports are made, a deep dive is immediately supposed to be done to analyze the gaps caused by the corruption in the different companies, so that action is taken as soon as possible, especially the cases that have been highlighted by the research findings. This is due to the fact that part of our duties is to follow up on the complaints and cases of corruption. 78% of the respondents say that they have never encountered corruption. 2.5% have thought about it, while 19.5% have rejected it. Rwanda ranks 4 in Africa in the fight against corruption and ranks first in the East African region.
While celebrating 20 years of anniversary since the establishment of Ines Ruhengeri, alumni expressed gratitude for the education received, which enabled them to create employment opportunities that have contributed to the country's development. Olive Nete has more with this.
Established in 2003, Ines Ruhengeri initially began with just 2 departments. Over the years, it has evolved and now has 15 diverse departments.
Yeah, my expectations are all met, thank God, because Ines is a good institution, and I wasn't expected to get what I really got, actually, because my expectation was low and I got more than what I expected from Ines. So I heard a lot about Rwanda, and it's a peaceful country, and whenever you go to the media you see the clean city of Kigali and the weather is so good. So I was like, why not choose a peaceful country where like I can be feeling like home? So I chose Rwanda. Yeah, actually this is my last year and I'm so excited to put in practice what I've learned and what I acquired from Ines. And you know, doing the internship in Rwanda, it teaches me a lot because it's 2 different countries. So I'm going to put in practice and bring those good things that I learned from here into my country.
Currently, the university has 500 students, including Rwandans and those from other 14 African countries. All of them reiterate on the benefits gained from lessons learned from this university. The knowledge gained assisted us to compete at the labor market, and most of us have been able to pass the council exam. I'm a designer and I design structures of houses. I managed to secure an employment as soon as I completed my degree, before even my graduation. During the 20th anniversary celebration of its establishment, the Minister of Education reaffirmed the government's dedication to ongoing collaboration in delivering quality education and enhancing technical vocational skills. The Bishop of Ruhengeri Diocese, Vincent Harorimana, stated that they want to contribute to the development of the country.
The fact that the President inaugurated this building motivated us to work harder. Seeing the progress made in the past 20 years gives us strength to even do more by taking a step in improving science.
Over the past 20 years, more than 11,000 students graduated from Ines Ruhengeri.
And now to education matters. A study conducted by the Rwanda Biomedical Center, RBC, and the Ndubuzima Clinical Research Center indicates that 1 in 4 men have a little or no knowledge on child vaccination, which is a major barrier to the program.
The Ndubuzima Executive Director, Umurisa Marie Michel, comments the significant strides made in enhancing childhood vaccination rates within the country. However, Despite the achievements, challenges persist, leading to approximately 4% of children not receiving their scheduled vaccinations.
Abagabo icyo twabonye twanabwiwe ariko natwe tubona nk'abanyarwanda nuko abagabo.
We found that men's participation when it comes to taking their children for vaccination is at a very low rate. There is need for more effort, especially in advocacy and other measures like reducing distances covered to get vaccinations, because asking a parent to carry their child for 4 hours to and from the hospital is a big hindrance. The Rwanda Biomedical Center pledged to strive to change the narrative.
We have realized that people living with disabilities and some other people, because of stigma that they experience in their families, they don't go to the health center to get the vaccines, while the government of Rwanda has availed these vaccines to protect the lives of Rwandans and to protect the lives of everyone who is born in this country. What we need to do is to increase awareness campaigns so that those families get to a point of understanding that living with a disability cannot condemn you not to be protected, and living with disability is not a reason for you not to be vaccinated against deadly diseases that we vaccinate in this country.
Childhood immunization started in 1980 in Rwanda. The vaccination dose has since increased from 3 to 13.
And that's all from us here at RBS Rwanda Television News. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Avera.
And we'll say up until next time.
Stay safe.
And have a great evening.